And we are live. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the land of Elsewhere. I'm your host, Kaiser Stardust, joined today with Smokey and, of course, our longtime friend, Mike. Um, this is a really weird intro, and I don't know why I'm introducing it like we're on like some sort of weird podcast, but I guess we are. Oh, yeah, that's right, because we are. This is a podcast. Did you know that? Well, welcome.
And it's weird.
It is weird. I don't know how you're listening
Did
to
you
us,
believe?
but welcome. What's happening? We're slowly divulging into madness. All right, hold on. Keep it together.
Wait,
Keep
you mean we were?
Slowly,
keep
slowly,
keep it
yeah.
keep it together, Kaiser. Keep it together. We got this. Hold on. We gotta finish strong. So today we are going to go ahead and join our hero, or heroes, depending on your interpretation, back in this magical world where it is going to basically be a situation that I do need to handle really quickly. Hold that thought, everyone. Okay, sorry. Anyways, continuing on. So, as I was saying, hey Shadow, good to see you. We're gonna go ahead and be joining today here, Smokey and everyone, as far as that goes. Back in the land, we last left everybody on kind of a little bit of a bit of a cliffhanger, not really, but a small one. When it came to everything being the situation, we met with Jack Frost. He had kind of explained. Well, actually, no. You know what? Let's back up a little bit. So you were bit by a book, or more like swallowed by a book, Smokey. So Cacta was swallowed by this book, and editor, I want to go ahead and make sure that we do fix this and change this to the title of the book being fantasy. I'm pretty sure that there was a discrepancy, but if not, let's make sure. It's probably a little late now because we're on this next episode, but just for everyone at home so that there's a consistency here, the book title was fantasy. That will be adjusted in our recording episode, but for those of you who are watching from our new video format, that will not, of course, be the case. However, with all things considered, I think that it's something that's kind of relatively small. It's not something that's going to be like too much of an issue. But back on track. So you were swallowed by the book fantasy, and you were transported or woke up in this wintry wonderland. Through kind of some bundling around, you ended up finding out that this was Snowberry Thicket, and maybe a once habitable land, but now sub-zero Arctic wasteland. You started following this northern light sort of situation, which led you to this cave. The cave basically took you into this really beautiful crystalline sanctuary, and where you met Jack Frost. Jack Frost, of course, had a mortal wound in their stomach. Light was pouring out of them, and they explained to you that they have been in a relatively big battle with their father. Over the fate of this realm, and that they used to get along, but something has kind of changed with that. He explained that his father's heart had grown frozen over, and he had given up on humanity. So, unfortunately, his father decided to basically turn this area into kind of this winter wasteland. So Jack Frost, of course, used his magic to basically take and put these creatures in, villagers into this these animals, these stuffed animals, these toys. So, with that being said, he has tasked you with trying to find this bear named Raleigh's friends. And he passed over this little teddy bear over to Cacta, and shortly after expired, sadly. So Cacta, you kind of left this area after fashioning some really cool, awesome crystalline weapons. You got a crystal sword. You gave Raleigh the bear a really cool spear, and then you took to the skies after bundling around a little bit, took to the skies and quote unquote crash landed in the village, which is where the chieftain, Raleigh the Bear, last said that he had remembered seeing his friends before the blackout, quote unquote. So that is where we are now. This is kind of what's going on at this exact situation. All right. So now that we've kind of got that out of the way, you are in a winter wonderland, of course, and you are in the circle of this kind of campsite. You have kind of going around the outer perimeters of this kind of rectangular kind of circle. It's more of an oval. I guess the word would be an oval. So you've got this oval, and the outer perimeter of this oval is kind of covered by these big wooden planks, okay? Big logs with big kind of spikes on the top of them that have been kind of whittled into like sharp points. They go all the way around this oval perimeter. And on the far side of that oval perimeter, you do see that there's an opening there with these kind of big, giant wooden doors that are, of course, made out of these big logs. Past that, you have more expansive scenery of the forest. And then in the far area, you see a mountain range. And you know, based upon the map that you received out of the pocket of Jack Frost, that to the far right of this mountain range, you know that there is the home of the Frost King. With that being said, in your immediate vicinity, surrounding you, are these big kind of like log cabins. I wouldn't say big; they're not towering. They're like a like medium sized kind of like little log cabins. There is, let me see here. There is currently 5 of them. There is one big one dead in front of you that is bigger than the rest. And Raleigh, you know this one, of course, to be your main chieftain's lodge. The other ones are on either side of that, kind of doing a horseshoe shape, and kind of going on either side of that. 2 on the left, 2 on the right. And directly in front of you is what looks to be kind of an old burned out bonfire pit. But outside of that, everything else is covered in snow, and it is still pouring the snow and very, very cold. What do you do?
Um, I guess I'll try to go into the nearest building.
Okay, so the nearest building would be directly in front of you, which would be the biggest one out of the bunch, and then the other ones you would have to kind of walk a little bit to the left or to the right equally.
Then I'll go towards the one right in front then.
All right, so you are going to go ahead and make your way uh, to the first one. The first thing that sorry, editor, if you could cut that a little bit out. The first thing that you do notice is that there's this big kind of animal hide that is covering the entrance. Definitely, of course, bigger than Raleigh the bear. Probably about your height, if anything, maybe a little bit taller. Just a big, nice animal kind of hide that's kind of covering the door instead of like a traditional door. Do you push past it?
Can I attempt to identify it?
Sure. Let's go ahead and get our first roll of the night. For
And
this,
this time it's using the actual die that I'm supposed to.
yeah. So let me go
As
ahead
we
and
finally got that stuff.
let's go ahead and take a look here at your character sheets. Because I am. Let's go with survival. Survival sounds decent. Of a roll.
Survival?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be a D6.
Unless
and
it's
a
animal
nice
handling. I don't think there's animal handling.
I
one.
don't think it would be animal handling because it is. I'm not really.
It's a live animal.
It's actually alive.
Yeah. Survival's fine.
Yeah, that would make sense.
All right. Looks like you got a
Nat 6.
Nat 6 there. There we go, guys. That is the first roll of the night
Actually,
for our.
we're using the explosive die, so every time we roll a nat, doesn't it?
Yeah, go ahead and re-roll that. Yep. So just go ahead and just roll another one. So 7, 8,
So
9.
a 9 in total.
Yep. All right. So for our
I
video.
forgot about that the last time we were playing.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. And so for our video viewers, you can see here that they did get a 9 there. So with a 9, you are able to identify this item. Creature that this used to be.
I can identify the item itself. I know exactly who made it and where.
Plot twist, it's manufactured. It's not real.
It's a mystical land called China.
Something Zon. Anyways, in all seriousness, this is a creature that is you've heard about a little bit. Talk of. Here's what I'll say. I think you've overheard conversations when it comes to conversations in taverns and things of that nature. Because you guys have kind of like on and off visited taverns, just not a lot, but at least a little bit. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Not
think.
very often. We've been
So-
like 3 in total.
Yeah, and I guess for whatever reason, you may have been just kind of like hyper focused into a conversation when somebody was talking about the Winter Court. The Winter Court, you don't know a lot of information about. You've definitely never been there. You do know that it is part of the Feywild. But they were talking. I think that these individuals were hunters, and which is why it perked your curiosity. They were talking about tracking through the snows in the Winter Court, and they were looking for a frost snow. And the frost snows are kind of the equivalency of our real world version, like gazelles. They're these just kind of deer-like creatures. They're completely feral. None of them are sentient or anything like that. They are just these vegetarian, plant-eating deer sort of characters that eat berries and different things of that nature. So that's you are able to identify this by the strange, swirly, dark blue pinwheel markings that are on their white fur. Yes, this is all very boring.
How is it held up, and how big like how much do you think it would weigh?
It's held up by by these kind of like nails, for lack of better words. They're just like big kind of like metal stakes that have been hammered into the wood. And as far as weight would go, you would imagine it would probably be the equivalency of like a cloak or a blanket.
I'm taking it down and taking it with me.
Okay. In order to take it down, you would probably have to kind of like give it a little bit of a tug or like rip it off of the nails, unless you were to like find something to climb up and like pry the nails off. So you?
I still have my slippers, and I technically have I have some shards and whatnot.
Okay, this is actually a really interesting time to interject this idea. Okay, so yeah, you put on your slippers, and where did you get those slippers from? This is a
It was the unicorn.
okay, okay. So you put on your slippers and you test them against the wall, and to your delight, they do still work. You are able to climb up on top, and what are you trying to do? Are you trying to just take it out? What are you trying to take these nails out with specifically?
Um, I know I have the pickaxe, which I'm still not 100% sure how it works,
Okay.
even though I've seen it once.
All right. Tell
But I
you.
am. Uh, Tell me what.
Um. So, are you wanting to just kind of like look through your bag and see what you see?
I guess because I'm more or less trying to just be able to pry them out without damaging the fur any further.
Okay. Yeah. No problem. So
Because my character sees the fur as something that's probably going to be worth quite a bit slash be useful for something later.
of course. So, for those of you who are our video users and watchers on Spotify and, of course, Twitch, we are going to go ahead and do a roll on my side, and we will see how successful this situation is. All right. 6, 12. All right. Whatever that is, plus another 6. I can't count. All right. Too high of a number. All right. Wonderful. So,
Did it just get extremely like
yeah, it was like 3
conspicuous?
splash damages. So like whatever 6 times 3 is plus an additional 4. So here's what I'll say. You rummage through your backpack and you find exactly what you are looking for. It is a little kind of crowbar that you would use more so for like put it when you're trying to take the pikes out when you're hammering them in when you're going down spelunking in the caves because you also have a bunch of those things in there. You This one is for prying them back out of the rocks. So you go ahead and take that, and you are able to use that. Is that what you do? I'm assuming.
Yes.
All right. Give me 1 second. All right. Give me 1 second. So we did actually lose Mike again. I don't know why that keeps happening. Um, we're gonna go ahead and pause the
He fell out
recording
of my
real quick.
backpack.
All right. Pausing the recording really quickly. For our stream viewers, give me just a moment. Just got to get my friend back into the chat room. And we'll give it a few moments. Um, I
Hey,
Yep. Hey, how's it going? All right. So I had to pause the recording there for you. Do you know if there's anything causing that issue, dude, on your side?
I don't know, man. It seems like when you do that intro, something about it throws my phone for a loop.
Ah,
The
gotcha.
government's just like, no, we will not allow you to have fun.
So, so we're still live streaming, of course. So I'm just going to go ahead and resume my recording side of things, so that way our editor doesn't have like a huge amount of work that they have to do.
Maybe
Recording
we
in
just keep using a
3,
word.
2, 1, and we're live again. All right, so back on track. So, anyways, Mike, we haven't heard from you in a little bit. Does Raleigh the bear have
Yeah,
anything to say about
it's
this?
been like 30 minutes since. Well, not 30, but like 20 something.
Yeah, so since you were out of the loop here, I'll just kind of give you just a quick 411 on what Cacta's doing. Editor, for the audio side of this, you can cut this recap done because we already know what has happened here. This is just a recap for Mike the player. So as of right now, Smokey's character Cacta went up on top of the thing and was basically pulling off this big giant, whatever I called it, a frostlow, this kind of animal skin, and he's trying to take it off of your door. So does
Oh wow! I mean, the last thing I know, we were crash landing.
Oh yeah, no, we're way the hell past that. If you've missed like, if that's the case, you've missed like
I,
a whole lot.
I told you.
You've
I
missed like
told you.
30
I've been
minutes of
gone
like,
since
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I've been gone since 11:58.
Oh well, that's unfortunate. Yep. So no, he's out of the five different village areas, he has gone ahead and picked yours, and he's about to go through the threshold, but he saw that this beautiful animal skin, and he's taking it down off the wall with his tools. Does Raleigh say anything in regards to this? By the way, editor, in recap.
Do I know why that's up there?
Let's roll you a check.
Is that for comfort's sake, or is that just a keepsake?
Here's the thing. I'll tell you, this is just common knowledge that you should know as your character.
Yeah.
This is literally what you would use instead of a door. This is just kind of like to block like cold air from coming in. It's
I'm pretty much taking your guys' door.
Yeah, basically. Now, of course, Cacta has his own reasons, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, there's a lot that we can use it for.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And I scratch my head and I kind of waddle over. I'm like, well, what are you doing to my door, Mr. Cat Person?
Well, I figured that if we were going to be warm during all of this, we're probably going to require something to keep us warm.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. I take another look at my body with a very curious kind of confusion. Do I seem cold? I'm looking around now, realizing there's snow everywhere and ice. Do I feel cold?
You do not. In fact, you don't have any sense of any sort of feeling.
Huh. I just scratch my head. I'm like, oh, bothered. I guess that's all right. I don't know what's going on here. I don't rightly know much of anything. I'm very confused.
All right.
By the way, just introduction's sake, I hold out my hand and I say, hi, I'm Raleigh. What's your name, stranger?
I'm the one who's going to eat you.
Wait, does Cacta actually say this?
Yes, but like, he's going to start laughing immediately after.
Well, I just kind of tip my head to the side and I say, something gives me the impression that's not going to be too tasty. Something's wrong with my body. I'm not sure you want any of this. There, stranger?
Nah, the name's Cacta. Cacta Fallen Twig.
A pleasure to meet you there, Mr. Fallen Twig. I'm Raleigh.
Did you know
Apparently.
that I suspect you might be in a book?
Now that sounds awfully strange. I know we crash landed. Did you hit your head? I'm
No,
supposed to be the one that's confused, not you.
Well, I'm not from anywhere near here. Technically, I'm not even from the Feywilds to begin with.
Well, now that's awfully curious. Do I know anything about magic? This all just very confusing to me.
That is a great question. Let's go ahead and for our visual viewers, let's go ahead and get some dice here in on the action.
Do I even know what the Feywild is? Like,
Six.
this guy just spouting nonsense.
So yes, you got an 11 there for your common knowledge. So yes, you are familiar with magic. You are aware of like the general understanding of how it works. You are a chieftain.
Do I
all.
know what world I am from? Like what plane of existence?
Yes, you yes, you do. You, as far as everything in the fiber of your beings knows, you are currently in the city / Providence thereof of Snowberry Thicket, which is part of the Winter Court, which is part of the Fey Wild.
Okay. Think. Wait, so you're not from the Feywild? Yes?
Not initially, and the part that I was in before this was a lot warmer.
Well, stranger, you are in the Winter Court area of the Feywild.
I had a feeling based on the fur that I just took down.
Oh, yes. And to that further note, like, so I got like common knowledge, but like as far as like arcane, the arcane part of it, like how he got here, kind of stuff, like people going from plane to plane. Like, do I know about that?
Editor, if you can cut out that squeaky deaky noises there. To answer your question, you yourself, as the
Because I'm a shaman. You keep saying I'm a
no,
shaman.
no.
Shaman and shaman are very different positions.
I want to.
He said shaman a couple times.
I want to very specifically preface: you are not a shaman. You are a chieftain.
Okay.
You are the lead chieftain.
He might have just accidentally said shaman.
Yeah, I may have accidentally said that, but for everything as far as on record goes, you are the chieftain of your village. You are one of the main leaders. As far as magic goes and the understanding of magic, that is not your specialty. That is one of your friends' specialties.
Well, I can't rightly say I know too much about this here fancy hokum, but I do have friends who do. And I could just be speaking out of my rear here, but I think there's a series of ways you could remedy your problem that aren't that difficult, given if you know the right people who know the right stuff.
Yeah, I
But
reckon
perhaps
so.
I could help you find someone. Yeah, I reckon I could find you someone. I have a friend who knows this kind of stuff. Perhaps he can lend you a hand.
I've
Now,
actually
speaking
got
of
a
him,
question out of character.
Yes. What is your question?
Actually, I've got two questions. One is, I still talked to the dragon in the main hall, right? That wanted me to go save his kid.
That is correct. Yes, that is
I
still
wanted
one
to
of
make
your
sure
main
that
quests.
I wanted to make sure that wasn't being retconned.
Nope, that is still current lore.
And about Vishi's egg.
I don't remember exactly what happened in our previous recordings because I haven't got to that in editing.
I thought you gave it to me.
I'm pretty sure that the
Yeah,
demon
you
did
did.
give
I
that
don't
to
know
you.
if you gave it to me in a recording.
Let's, for the record, say that yes, you do have the egg.
Okay, because I was gonna say I probably want to make sure to.
Editor, if we can
Do what I need
actually
to.
make a note here, if you're listening to this recording, please make sure you make a note of this and remind me of this when you're listening to this recording, because that is relatively important lore. Thank you.
Because I know that there's certain stipulations and stuff that the egg has to be taken care of.
All right, no problem.
Which, if you could, do you remember what the actual stipulations were? Because I don't actually.
Just for all intents and purposes, so that way we don't have to worry about this in this exact moment. Oh, hey! Thank you so much, Real Croissant, for joining the cheese party. We do all sorts of fun things here. Today we're, of course, playing a little bit of Savage Worlds. But welcome.
yes, I shall be playing as a brie, a nicely aged brie.
If you make any more cheese jokes, I will be forced. I will be forced to end this entire podcast, which would be so terrible.
I'm a nice aromatic aged brie.
You're
Just-
an aged Umbreon?
Just every
Not
day,
Pokemon.
every day my hand gets closer to that, just that red button.
Which red button?
But
All right. Well, so
to get back into
yeah,
to
back into
things,
so,
did you have any other
so my
questions,
character was
Smokey?
in a
Well, I wanted to make sure that my character was going to take care of the egg because I think it's been a while since it's been taken care of.
Yeah, for all
not technically.
for yeah. So here's what I'll say. This is just to kind of give us a little bit of a check-in on the egg situation. For those of you who are completely lost, basically, in short, originally Vichy, which was our rabbit character, had an egg. It has now been transferred over to Cacta. The egg is of unknown
Let's
origins.
not talk too much about that.
Yeah.
Not too much about that.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
that's why I'm just prefacing the small bits. But the point is for an egg check-in, you do know that as of right now, you kind of just like absentmindedly just kind of like pat it to make sure it's okay. It is warm, which is what you want, but
Okay.
the warmness is starting to go away a little bit, but you don't think it's an immediate concern right now.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I don't think you ever actually sent me like everything that I needed to do with the egg.
I have not because I am so busy with everything.
And you probably forgot that the egg even got transferred over to me.
Maybe a little bit, but well, for all intents and purposes, I know everything. I'm the DM. I don't forget anything. I am always ever present, omnipresent. Don't worry about it. It's cool.
Except for what you forget, and I have to remind you.
He's always a birthday
What?
present.
Anyways, since our recording is going and our editor is probably screaming at the monitor to get things back on track, let's get back into the action.
So as I was saying, the idea of like finding my friend who knows that sort of stuff, I'm going to go ahead and like look at myself more clearly now, like with more of a clear mind, and realize I am not in my body. And I want to make sure I don't get shaken.
Do I notice how he's looking at himself?
Yeah, at this point, just to kind of move the narrative along a little bit, because there's quite a few little bits.
If I did, I was just more or less just gonna say, yeah, you're a teddy bear now.
Yeah, let's just do a little bit of a scene change here. I'm just gonna say that because like in my mind, you're still stuck on the ceiling in this weird T-posing situation. So
I was gonna continue going in.
Yeah. So just as the narrator standpoint of things, here's what's happening. You've already taken the big thing off of the door, and at this point, you guys have walked into the main foyer of this area. Let me describe this scene a little bit, and then I'll resolve your guys' actions. Otherwise, like it's gonna get like really weird. So the first thing that you immediately see is this big kind of chair that's made out of rocks and wood, and it's got like there's like a little crown that has been this kind of like haphazardly kind of put. It's like a little golden crown that's been kind of like, no, it's not a golden crown. Editor, correct this. It is actually a crown that is made out of branches, and it's got these berries, these little blue berries that have been kind of ornamentally put around the crown's thorny kind of top. And they look like they've been kind of dried to it. And there's like leaves that kind of also go around it as well. These kind of nice crimson red leaves. And it's kind of been unceremoniously kind of put over one of like the poking up bits of wood of this chair, of this throne chair, and just kind of like slung through the middle part of it. To your right, you have what looks to be this crystalline sheet of like a rectangle sheet that has been polished very heavily to where you can see a reflection in it. And to the left, you have like chest full of stuff that are just kind of just haphazardly just meandering around. You've got a little table. And then up above, you've got these big kind of tapestry rugs that have been kind of woven in many different colors. Think like just your traditional kind of like wool rugs with like many different assets of rainbow colors and things of that nature that are hung from the rafters of this building. And then there's a lot of animal furs that are on the ground as well that kind of just blanket the ground overall. And to resolve your actions, yes. I think at this point, Raleigh, you are very interested to know what in the world is going on with Raleigh's body. So you immediately rush over to one of the mirrors, and yes, you do discover you are way shorter than you used to be. You are knee high, if anything, and you are a furry little teddy bear. And Cacta, I think you see him observing himself in this situation.
Would we say that I was originally a bear person?
Here's what I'm going to say. You don't know what you were originally.
All right. But I know I wasn't this.
You know you were not a child's toy. Yes.
Oh, what is this? What is this? And I start like looking at, and I'm looking at the reflection. I'm like, no. And I stagger backwards. I fall my rump. And I'm grabbing my head, and I start rocking a little bit.
Apparently, Jack Frost, in order to save you, turned you into a toy. I think he said something about your friends being turned into toys, too. He may have eaten them, though.
I need to process this. And I go and I sit on my throne.
Okay. As you
Athletics check to get up onto his throne.
I will roll for that. For those of you who are watching our video stream, I will roll for that. All right. So
yeah, I'm gonna stagger
6,
my way
7,
trying
8,
to
9,
climb
10.
this damn throne.
Yeah, actually, with a 10, you climb this throne with a familiarity about you, as if you have done this before, maybe when you were maybe a child or something. But you have your ways of kind of kicking off of it and getting to where you need to. And as you sit down, and for our video users who are watching me roll that other roll previously, this is that resolve. As you sit down, you kind of have this a little bit of a wave of clarity, okay? Not a lot, but things start to kind of come into focus a little bit as you survey this land, well, the land being your your cabin.
My home?
Yeah, the landscape of your home and your newfound friend Cacta. It dawns on you a little bit what happened on that fateful night. You remember Jack Frost coming to your providence, and you know that he was clutching his side. You remember that there was someone there with you. A warrior. Somebody was helping carrying him into the encampment. You don't remember the details. It's fuzzy. It's like watching the flashing lights of a moving of a. I was about to say a moving picture. That's not accurate. The flashing remnants of a dream. There we go. You remember some of your friends, but their faces are blurry, kind of surrounding him, and you do know that Jack Frost was telling you something along the lines of a warning, something about your father. You can't remember exactly what, something about it's all going so fast, anger, frustration, something about humanity. You know a storm was approaching, and Jack Frost was offering help. He was saying, this is the only way. You don't remember. It's all so fuzzy. It's just like, it's like your things are just going a mile a minute in this dream-like situation. But you do know one thing sits in clarity. And that is, in order to save your Providence, you guys had to basically, for the most part, transition into this other body. Everything else in this world, for the most part, will be dead. Gone. But Jack Frost said, specifically, if you can survive and hold out hope, there may be some way to change back this outcome. If you stay alive. And now you're back in that room.
I relay all that to my new friend. In a very gruff, very sort of a muffled, mumbled voice as I do so. Just very, very much like this. And,
Yeah, I knew most of that.
well, alright, and I grab my crown. Does it fit around my head, or is this like a situation where it goes down and becomes a belt?
I think that it rests on you like a bandolier, like ammo sling, just over the shoulder situation. It's too big for a belt, too big for a hat, but just right for a weird sling.
All right, and I march outside out into the winter cold. Like I have a purpose, and then I stop and I go, ah, crap. I have no idea where to go. Crap. Cacta? Cacta. Any ideas? Any ideas where we should start?
I have a map, but I was gonna check through the rest of the camp to see if there was anything that we could use.
Yeah, that seems right. All right, we'll go check the rest of the camp.
All right. And that's where we'll end our session. No,
What?
The end.
I would have never seen that coming.
That would be a bad drop-off point.
That would be like quite the cliffhanger.
Not the good one. Not the good cliffhanger either.
All right. So no. That's not what happens. Editor, you can cut that bit out in the final edit if you want to. As you guys kind of about face and leave this area. Let's take a look.
Oh, no, we were saying we were going to look at more houses.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You're about facing out of your current cabin, and you are leaving out into the frosty snow. As soon as you pass the threshold of this area, we're going to need to go ahead and do some notice checks. Okay. So Cacta, I need you to go ahead and roll, and I'm going to go ahead and roll for you, Raleigh. Okay. Raleigh got a 3, so Raleigh is not going to see this.
I mean, he is much, much lower to the ground. So.
He is much lower to the ground. This is true.
I got a 2.
Okay, so neither one of you noticed this.
Wow, even worse.
So here is what I will say, because this is a low roll. What I will say is this. As you exit out of the threshold, there is a chill in the air.
I wouldn't have noticed that. I would not have noticed that at all.
It's different than the cold. It's different than a physical, tangible chill. This chill even affects you, Raleigh. Something is off. It's like something walked past your soul, your very essence. It disturbs you. And then it's gone.
Oh God, someone released Jar Jar Binks.
The war criminal?
Exactly.
There's sometimes, audience, when I just wonder, do we even need a campaign?
Yes.
Like, do I just shut it down now? Like, Do we supposed to go home? anyways, I will continue to stay on my grade A performance. Thank you. Don't worry. I know it's a labor of love. Anyways, continuing on. Gods. Okay. So you've got to the right of you 2 cabins, to the left of you 2 cabins. What are you doing?
It was a good one. It was a good one, wasn't it?
I want to scream into the heavens, but it's fine. Continue. Which ones are you going for?
I'm just gonna start heading right.
I'm going to head towards the one that looks the most shambled and run down, as though someone has just leaned a bunch of sticks together.
None of them match that description. So you head towards nowhere. Cat, you start making your way to the right. To the right, you have 2 cabins. One of them, let's see here. One of them to the closest of you has it's smaller a little bit. There's no like fancy furs or anything like that, but you do know that this one, you can see that somebody has taken and tried to like spruce this up a little bit. You can see that, and you don't know why you haven't noticed it before. Maybe it's just because they're not like currently lit. But of all of the cabins, this one has an egregious amount of torches around it. They're not lit, but you can see an aggressive amount of them along the walls. You see big giant like tiki style torches. They're not tiki style torches, obviously. I just don't have any other frame of reference here, that have been staked into the ground. Big torches that kind of light the way, that would kind of light the way throughout this entire perimeter. But they're all like they're everywhere in that one area. And then it looks like someone's tried to spruce the area up a little bit by taking what looks to be pink paint or some variant of paint, and has painted their entire building, not professionally, mind you. Like you can definitely tell it's an amateur job, but the whole building is pink. That one is entirely pink. The one past that is looks a little bit more normal, of course, but you think that you can see maybe some sort of hint of a garden or something, but it's hard to tell because everything has kind of been frozen over and covered in snow. Where would you like to go?
Awful lot of torches you got here.
Smokey, I just want to let you know, it sounds like you're like in a bathroom, like super far away. I don't know what happened there.
Because he is.
Editor, if you want to just edit this part out.
No, it's because for some reason my headset decided the microphone that I'm using with my headset, because I'm no longer using the old headset, decided it didn't want to be on my head anymore.
Gotcha. All right, editor, we are back in. So,
I don't have an actual mic yet.
No problem. So, which way would you like to go?
Well, what I was saying was, you got an awful lot of torches here.
Oh, wow. Okay, we lost Mike. Guys, I don't know what's going on with our technical difficulties.
How did you lose him immediately?
I don't know. Editor, I'm just going to pause this recording here real quick. These are trying times in the kingdom. We are losing connection with those beyond the veil. And it's just looking relatively dark. Yes, Mike, I know that you are calling me, but I can't call you if you're calling me. Stop calling me on my personal phone.
No.
Okay, go back quickly. Good.
Yeah. That's I saw you calling.
I think sometimes when you kick back on the recording or kick it off, I think it kicks me.
It doesn't do it. This is not a thing. This is.
Yeah, because the
But anyways,
timing always seems to.
but let's get back into the action because I want to make sure that we're staying on a reasonable pace here. Oh, hey, at least the view count was high. We had at least like 7 in here earlier. That's awesome. Glad to hear that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching us, even though we're experiencing a few little technical issues. Definitely want to thank you guys so much for checking out our stream. Really appreciate you guys. But let's get that recording going in 3, 2, and recording now. So, yeah, as far as that goes, Smokey, Cacta was basically saying that's an awful lot of torches there, referring to the super bright pink. Okay, you got all that.
Part.
Okay, great. Editor, you can clear out that little bit of a recap there. So.
Yeah. Now, I was saying, like, I was trying to find one that looked like a house that belonged to someone who was depressed.
Yeah, none of that here. Yep, none of that here.
Really?
None of that here. None of that. None of that here. Move forward, please.
Okay.
Editor, please cut that out. That whole bit. That just all that. Just cut it all out. All right. So yeah, Smokey, what are you doing?
I guess we'll start heading for the garden.
Okay, so you're gonna pass by the pink house with the torches and go to the farthest house closest to the perimeter of that oval wall there, and you're just gonna kind of take a look at that area, correct?
Mainly because to him, a higher chance of there being any sort of possibly like cured food or whatnot.
Okay, that's reasonable. All right, so you make your way over to this far side of this encampment here, and now that you're kind of facing that area, and just before we address that situation, not Rue, who's Rue? Raleigh.
One of the,
Raleigh, what are you doing? Are you following?
I guess so. I mean, I don't see a house that looks like it belongs to a depressed person.
Okay. Wonderful. So you follow along. And I just want to preface just to really iron home this knee-high situation. You are literally up to your like upper chest, like barely your head is kind of poking out of this snow. You're just waddling through just this white sea of snow that would normally to your compatriot only kind of go to his knees. But for you, you're just swimming in it. All right, so Cacta, yeah, as you approach this area, you take a look at this this village, and it is this cabin is kind of a sad sight, if I do say so myself, or well, in this case, you say so yourself. As you take a look to the left of this cabin, okay, there is all along the side of it, all the way up to the entirety of the wall, what looks to be, or at one point, a magnificent garden. You can't really make sight of what any of it would have actually been because it's all covered in permafrost and snow, and it is buried deep. But you can see like bits and pieces of the stakes of where maybe some sort of clinging vine plant might have gone, and you see these kind of big arches of where maybe some sort of ivory thing went. It would have probably imaginally been beautiful. You see bird baths that have been frozen over with sheets of ice. You see little benches that are barely visible over the huge amounts of layers of snow. The cabin itself, no lights are on, much like the other ones. Dark, uninviting. But you see that there is what looks to be some sort of farmer's tool that has almost dejectedly looking been cast aside, and it's laying precariously on the ground, blocking the way to the front of the building. And it's kind of just laying on those two log steps that go up to the threshold of the building, and it's just kind of. It doesn't look like it's trying to block it or anything. It just looks like it's been unceremoniously laid on the ground. Very unlike most of the other organized tools that have been neatly tacked up and displayed proudly along these walls.
Oh, what tools are on the walls?
Nothing that you would probably really be able to use. You've got your little tiny trowels. You've got maybe looks like maybe a pair of gardening gloves. Possibly, you're not exactly sure what that is. Is it a rake? Is it a stake? You don't know. You don't really know. It's not your forte specifically, but you can identify basic tools.
Up 2 of the trowels.
Okay, you pick up
And
2
I
trowels.
have a reason for it. It won't be used right now, but I do have a reason for it for later.
Okay, these are small little digging trowels for planting plants into the ground. But yes, you pick them up. I'm gonna ice cream.
Do I see a rake? Do I see a rake?
Yeah, there's a rake.
Can
Or
I
at
take
least
the
something
rake?
that's calling itself a rake.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Can I take the rake?
Yeah, well, you can try. Tell you what, give me, let's get you a strength check for our viewers at home. This is going to be a strength check for him.
Oh yeah, because you have to remember how much larger this rake is gonna be than you.
Yeah. So you're able to lift up your little teddy bear arms out of this sea of snow and pick it up for sure, but not much more than that as it comes clambering down off the wall and crashing down onto the ground.
I'm just going to drag it behind me.
I am going to re-roll your strength roll for that.
It crushes them.
Okay, you are able with great effort to drag this rake behind you, trailing across the snow and carving huge raked lines into the freshly white powdered sea.
Fantastic. Okay, that is going to be my way of finding my way back home if I get lost.
Okay. With that being said, Cacta, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go into the building that you said the one tool was not necessarily blocking the door, but just laying in front of.
Yeah, okay. Are you just stepping over said tool?
No, I'm stepping right on the head. That way it hits me in the face.
Heck yeah, time
Yeah.
for comedy. And then you slip on a banana peel. Oh no. Dun-dun-dunce. All right. Okay, now that we got that out of the way. Yeah, you step over it and walk through the threshold.
I thought I said I was stepping off.
Oh no, a tumble.
I'm sorry, I have to.
Oh, you got it. You gotta talk about some slapstick comedy, of course. All right. You make your.
Gotta get this place livened up. Warm us up a little.
All right.
It's freezing cold.
Okay. So one of the nice things that you notice immediately about this this area is that as soon as you kind of walk through the threshold, you see that there are some I don't know how to some torches on the wall. Okay, and of course they are not currently lit, and it is very chilly in here. You also see like what looks to be like a long table along the far back of this wall. It looks like there might be like plates or and different different assortments of a situation here, maybe for entertaining company or stuff like that nature. There seems to be like a big kitchen along one of the other far ends of the wall, and a little what looks to be like another room that may lead to like a bedroom or something like that. But one of the nice things you notice immediately as you walk in, because your first thoughts are like, I'm freezing, is that directly to the right of you there is this bucket, and this wooden bucket has what looks to be like a giant matchstick in it. that you are familiar with. They're a bit more barbaric, if anything, but these are called strike sticks. If you are to strike them, it will light a flame for a brief amount of time that you could probably light one of those torches with.
Okay, well, I'll grab that.
Okay, you grab it.
I'll grab it again. I'm gonna exploit the game and grab it multiple times.
Eventually, the game creator steps in and punches you in the face and then leaves.
I don't know why I keep coming up with these just It's just like...
Can I look in the pink house?
Yes, you can, but should you split the party? But no, you can. That's fine. I don't care.
You get tackled by a werewolf who tears you to shreds.
All right, so you're heading over to the pink house, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way over to the pink house, and I'm not going to do extensive narrations here. You just go through the threshold. Just to really quickly tune back, Smokey, were you doing anything in this situation? Are you just picking it up, or are you lighting the torches?
I'm just picking it up for now, because if I plan on flying again,
that's
torch
fair.
isn't gonna stay lit.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. So here's what I'll say. You just pick up the torches, and we're going to go ahead and do a quick jump cut over to the other area. So, with that being said, Raleigh, you pass by this threshold and you notice these torches, and it sparks another memory in your mind. You remember having a conversation. Again, you can't remember too much about the before, but what you do remember is you remember a conversation saying something along the lines of, well, I am scared of the dark. Perhaps there's something that we could do to make it a little less frightening? I don't know what your suggestions are, but maybe some sort of light or something to cheer up the place. And you hear this disembodied voice along the wind. And then it's gone. And you make your way into the threshold. And as you step inside this area, there is something that jogs your memory. This area is dark. Very dark. And to you, that seems very, very strange. Perturbing, if anything. Like, this is not supposed to be like this at all. It feels very wrong. And as you make your way past this threshold, you see little chairs, you see a little bed in the far back, you see nothing out of the ordinary that would really be signaling to you, why is this like this? You do see that a fireplace that had maybe a fire very recently, judging from the amount of smoke and ash that are along it, and aggressive amounts of logs that have been stockpiled next to it. But in the very far corner, far left-hand corner of this room, you see what looks to be about your height, really, about knee high. You see a little stuffed animal in the corner, covered in shadows, because that side of the room is very dark. But you can't quite make out exactly what it is. What do you do?
I poke my head out to see if I can see where the cat is.
The cat?
And I go, kind of tap my head and I scratch it a little bit and I go, oh yeah, the green cat, right? There's a green cat with me. It's quite tall. What was his name again? Think. And do I see him re-emerging out of that structure yet?
No.
Yeah, probably not, seeing as I still need to search through the structure for food.
Oh yeah. So I'm just standing there, just rubbing my head, thinking very hard. And we'll flash back to Cactus.
No, we are not. We are going to flash back to you. I tell you how this game works, not you.
And then
So-
we flash back to Cactus just to flash back to him.
We flash back to Cacta, who is still pondering what to do with this strike stick, and then we flash back over to Mike, and the audience is getting a case of whiplash. So, back on track. Don't tell me how to run my game. The hell?
We need more popcorn.
So one thing that does you hear almost as a whisper, Raleigh. And Raleigh has left the chat. It is one of those days, isn't it? Just technical issues abound. I don't know what's going on.
Of course, it would be too easy if they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, apparently the phone agrees. Flash to Cacta.
No, we are okay. Cut it out now. So, anyways, editor, just cut out that little bit there, please, if you don't mind. All right. So, in the far corner of that room, you see maybe a small bit of movement from that creature that's about yay high, and you hear, "Are they still out there? The monsters in the dark? It's so dark." And now we will transition back to Cacta. What are you doing?
I told you.
That's when you decide to transition back.
Never be looking for the cat, but rather
I'm just gonna start whistling like a cheery Christmas song
Fantasy Christmas.
as I look for some like dried food and stuff that might still be good.
Okay. All right. So as far as that goes, you go ahead and make your way deeper into this area. And as you're kind of rummaging through cabinets and drawers, just kind of seeing what you see, you do find a couple of canned goods. Nothing too crazy, some canned vegetables, some different canned dried meats and things of that nature. But alongside one of the far kind of walls, you see sitting in a chair is a little yellow rabbit, and they are just kind of sitting at this chair, and you can see that there's like a little tea set out in front of them. But this rabbit looks, for lack of better words, this stuffed animal rabbit looks almost like they were stuck in a freezer. Their what you could tell would have been yellow is kind of this like icy, bleached yellow, almost off-white with frost kind of covering it. And it just looks, you can see that he's holding one of the little teacups, but this is literally the only frozen animation that they have, and they're sitting in that chair.
You know what I just realized?
Hmm.
You just gave me a way to light a torch after I've already got a way to light a torch.
I did.
Yeah, my character just suddenly remembers, oh, I can actually light these torches. And he just pulls out his,
Flamethrower.
for lack of better words, yes.
Your flamethrower shotgun. All right, so you just start lighting the torches in this room, and it definitely brightens up the place, and you start feeling a lot more warmer. But something seems strange. Of all the things that seem to warm up and the snow starts melting in this room, the one thing that doesn't change anything about it is the rabbit. It's still covered in ice, still covered in snow, still stuck in this weird, unnatural, frozen position holding a teacup.
I guess I'll bring a torch closer to it.
Okay, so the snow immediately melts off of it, but again, this character still has this weird, unnatural kind of iciness to them, as if they are not there or something.
So what you're saying is I need to slap it.
Pop it.
Sure, if you want to.
Slide it.
Yeah. My character's just thinking it's another one of his friends.
Okay, so you slap it, and you slap it hard enough to knock the little teacup out of its hand, and the teacup goes flying across the room and shatters against a wall. But it still stays in its default animation with its little hand held out. And nothing
And it
changes.
takes 63 points of damage.
Emotionally sad damage. But yeah, outside of that, there's no change here.
How dare it not change?
Now, of course, your backpack, something that does come to mind, your backpack is big enough to probably put this character in it if you want. I do believe you also have a bag of holding as well.
I personally do not. You never gave my character one.
Oh, I thought I did. Well, that's a
I
shame.
was the only character not to get one.
Oh. Well, as you rummage through your bag, you find a bag of holding. How convenient.
It was one that I picked off of one of my allies' dead bodies.
Yeah, you don't know what happened there. Glad that came in handy.
I reach inside and pull out an octopus.
No, that doesn't happen. This one's empty. Just like a fresh start on life.
I guess I'll shove him in there.
Okay. You hear the screams of the damned as you. No, you put
Music to my ears.
You put it safely into this non-intimidating or threatening bag of holding.
He used to be Sans. Makes sense.
All right, wonderful.
The
So,
spirits of the sands.
outside of that, so you add it into this bag. Is there anything else that you're doing?
Did we ever mention any food that I found?
Yeah, you got like a couple of canned goods. Probably, I'd say about 2 days worth of rations.
Then I guess with that, I'll just go outside. And then I'm gonna use my bear hunting skills to find the stuffed animal.
All right. Yeah, the bear hunting skills of finding said bear is relatively easy for you.
Unnecessary. Yes,
As you look down on the ground, you see a giant rake track that leads you right over to where the pink house is, and
The opposite direction. This is probably a trap.
yeah, all right, you go in the opposite direction, and then you just realize everything starts to kind of fade away, as if for some reason somebody didn't like draw this side of the map. It's really weird.
Almost like maybe he's in a Matrix.
And it's like something is wrong here. And you decide to turn around and go back the other way. And then you hear a, "Good job. That's the direction you're supposed to be going from the far winds of the upper heavens." It's so weird. Such a strange land.
You just made me think of the Stanley Parable.
That's what I was going for.
Our character was back on track once again.
After great deliberation, he realized he was going the wrong direction. He turned around and decided to right himself in the right direction.
Turns right.
The narrator stares into the void and wonders, is there any hope for this land?
Just screams out, "No!"
I literally dragged her right behind me so that we could not be separated. That he could just follow the track. What did he go? The complete opposite direction.
But in all seriousness, what are you doing?
I'm going towards the pink house.
Okay, you make your way to the pink house, and you hear from somewhere off in the distance, "Thank the gods!" And then you continue.
And you just see this tiny little head poking out of the snow at the door of the house. Quiet.
Yeah, you see Raleigh poking his head out and looking at you.
Is it bad that I'm tempted to just, as I'm walking past, just absent-mindedly pick him up and start to put him in my bag of holding?
As the character that you are free to do this. I hold no agency in these.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Oh my god. Okay.
What's happening? What is? It's like
Oh, sorry, you're actually alive. I'll put it back down again.
What was that?
Oh, it's just a bag of holding. I've already put one of your friends in here.
Do I know what a bag of holding is?
For all intents and purposes, so I don't have to explain this very complicated information, yes, you know that it's a bag with a great amount of space in it.
And no air.
Probably.
I mean,
Maybe there's
how
air.
How much air does a stuffed animal actually need, though?
That sounds like a riddle.
That does sound like a riddle. That sounds like one of those, like, you know, if a tree falls in the wood and there's no one there to hear it, kind of riddles.
Yeah, it does. So despite riddles and bags of holding, what are we doing? This is me out of character, the DM, trying to figure out where are we going here?
I'm going to say, all shenanigans, aside there, partner. There's somebody in this here house, and I don't think they much like to talk.
Well, luckily for them, I got a way to light it as I just light up my flamethrower.
Okay, as soon as you light up your flamethrower, I need you to roll another notice check. This also will be on Raleigh. Raleigh, I'm rolling for you now as we speak.
Can he light my head a little bit on fire? On my hand? How about my right hand?
Sure. Sure. Yeah, you kind of stick up your hand to like wave at him randomly, and then you get caught in the stream of fire, and now you've got a fiery hand. What would you like to do next, Raleigh?
I don't feel that.
Your hand is lit ablaze, and as you stare into the fire like a moth to the flame, you wonder, what does it all mean?
Yeah, I only got a 3 on that notice check.
I'm going to put my hand between my butt cheeks to put it out.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to put it out.
I'm going to roll for that. Butt cheek roll.
Well, because technically he's all stuffed animal.
Yeah, you got a 2 and a 1. So, yeah, now your booty is on fire.
Huh.
And slowly...
This could be bad. This also could be really great. Maybe I'll just become a walking fire. I think. But as I'm thinking that, I kind of sit down in the snow to really ponder this.
As you slowly engulf in the fiery infernos of the damned, you sit down to ponder, is there any meaning once you're a teddy bear? And then you lay down in the snow, and then you realize, it's okay, I'm just a bear. And just like that, all the fire's gone.
It's such an existential crisis.
You're just a bear. Oh my god. Okay. So for that notice roll, I just want to preface again, as soon as you light the torch, you again feel that weird chilling sensation again. But as soon as the fire touches the first torch, which I'm assuming that you're lighting, correct?
Oh yeah, I'm lighting
Okay.
the house on fire.
Oh, wonderful.
Is this what you're doing?
No, I'm lighting the torches.
Okay.
Which technically might have a chance to light the house on fire, as we're now going to be leaving unattended torches and
This is possible. So as you light the first torch, that
Aslan's gonna come back to his village.
that
He's gonna burn to the ground.
as you light that first torch, that chilling feeling, like the only way you can describe it, as I said, is this chills you to kind of your soul, like but there's something more to it. It's like you're getting a feel for it, like something's watching you. You don't know what or who, but just as soon as you light that first torch, that feeling's gone immediately. Do you light all of the torches in this area?
I'm going to light my left hand on fire now and walk into the house to get a better look.
Lighting all of the torches inside the house on fire.
Okay, so you light the exterior ones and the interior ones, and then the bear lights his hand on fire and uses it as a torch. Got it. So with fire in
He
hand,
damage for this because technically this is damaging him.
not yet somehow. So with fire in hand and fire in tow, you make your way into this soon to possibly be burning building, and you are greeted with, again, just a, for the most part, now lit room. Do you light the fireplace on fire too, or no?
Yeah, I'm just
Do I light
going
the fireplace on
I'm
fire?
going to light the fireplace on fire. Not the wood in it. The whole fireplace. Just light it up.
That's not possible because it's made out of cobblestone.
Okay, so I'm just going to light the firewood on fire. And the firewood along the side, too. Not just what's in the fireplace. No, just
building on
what's in the
fire.
fireplace. Just the fire.
Thankfully, the whoever designed this building thought that maybe all this fire in one area was a bad idea, and decided to put the logs inside of a container that's made out of iron that lifts it off of the floor in just such the right fashion. When you light this on fire along with the fireplace, it's just like double fireplace. Much like a double rainbow, it's probably not that good of an idea to have a double fire in a building, one uncontained, one contained, but in this situation, it somehow works.
And then I wave my hand until it goes out.
As you wave your hand and the fire goes out, you realize that you have no more fur on that hand, and you don't know if that's a problem or not. But now it's just a bare, leathery skinned nub of a teddy bear arm.
Almost like I might need to put some glove on there.
Maybe. So with that being
Bear nub.
said, you hear from the corner, "Oh, the light is back. Hey, that's great. Excuse me, strangers. Are the monsters still there?"
Did I ever acknowledge that there was monsters there?
Did you or did they? Yes, they did. You didn't say anything further about that. But they did ask you that originally before I shifted the frame. I don't know if you lost call there or something.
No, but I mean, there's a difference between someone talking about there being monsters and someone else acknowledging that there actually are monsters.
No, you never
I think
acknowledged it.
Yeah, no. So I'm just like, what monsters? There were never any monsters in here. I scratch my head.
You haven't seen them? The worst of things? And as this character is talking, they're standing up, and they're slowly walking into the light. They're awful creatures, shadowy and scary. The skull face, the long antlers, and their broken backs. It's all so horrible.
Wait
It's-
a second.
It's so good to see a familiar face. And
Wait a
now,
sec. Are you? Wait. I think I just figured. I'm. Oh God.
as they step into the light, you see a small little pink pig, a stuffed animal pig. And they say, Raleigh, it's me. I'm searching for my notes. Sorry, editor, cut that bit out. It says,
I scratch my head, very confused.
Raleigh, don't you remember me? It's me, Lulu Rose Petal. It's so good to see a familiar face here. Who's your friend?
Oh, Lulu. Huh. Were you always a little stuffed pig?
Well, of course not, silly.
So how was I supposed to recognize you?
Well, I would think you would recognize your own daughter.
Oh.
Huh.
I'm just gonna start
But how
laughing.
do you
just like,
recognize me?
I'm gonna start laughing and just be like, "Ah, your daughter's a pig."
Well, I wasn't always one. And I think with that,
This
she
is all
chuckles.
very confusing. Ah, this is all very confusing. How do you recognize me? And I'm a stuffed bear. Was I a bear before? What is going? And I just kind of turn around and just kind of like wander off, scratching my head.
Oh, wow. That magic really did a number on you. I suppose some of us lost our memory, apparently.
Well, it could be worse. He could have ended up like this guy, and I just pulled a rabbit out from my bag of holding, just like how a magician would.
Oh, goodness. Juno! Oh, what happened to him?
Not sure, but he doesn't seem to be responding.
What do you do with Juno? Do you just hold him in your hand? Or are you setting them
I'm
down?
gonna set him down, so that they can take a look.
Okay, yeah.
I fear we may be a little too late for them.
Lulu rushes over and scoops up Juno in her arms. Well, as much as she can, being a stuffed animal, and she kind of gives him like a once over, and she says, "Oh dear, oh dear. Well, unfortunately, this is way beyond me, but you know who's good at these sorts of things? Oh, geez, my memory's not the best either. Pepper Greenleaf. Yes. She's what was she turned into? Oh, geez, a kangaroo. That's what she was turned into. If we can find, yeah, I think everything will be okay. And she
may be
cuts
on the
off.
She may be on the other side of the camp.
Lulu looks like about to bust into tears, but she's trying to like maintain composure. She says, yes, I think, oh gosh, I think she's on the far side. The last house, past, sorry, my memory is just really bad right now. Past Raleigh's main camp. It's not the one right after it. It's the very far one along the wall. If you go
we
there.
probably should check every one just to make sure that we're not leaving anyone behind.
Yes, it's probably the best. I tell you what, I will look after Juno Cottontail here, and sorry, I'm okay. I'll look over Juno, and I'll watch over him, make sure he doesn't get any worse or anything. If you want to go with Raleigh and go find Pepper, she is our village. For lack of better words, druid, medicine lady. She's good at these sorts of things. She'll be able to know what to do. Okay.
Oh, do I remember? Like, I'm like, oh, right, that's the one that knows about the magics. That's the one that will help you.
Yeah,
in your
yeah. That
situation.
as soon as she says that, that name does register to you, and she does come to mind. She's this older kind of lady. This is a memory that you have. This face does come to mind. A very motherly woman, brown long hair, always a sweet smile. Always willing to kind of lend a hand and help out wherever needed. If you needed a meal fed or a bandage on a wound, she was there. She also did help with a lot of the druidic things in the area. So yes, you would remember that from anywhere. Just a wonderful, wonderful individual.
So I'm gonna get ready to actually go out, but before actually leaving, I want to take a look around to see if I notice any of the creatures that she was talking about.
All right, give me a notice check, but roll it twice and take the higher result, please.
Like roll both of the die twice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, there's a 50-50 chance. There's... Huh. That was the first one, and... Okay, so a 4.
Okay, with a 4. Are you taking Raleigh with you?
Well, so far I haven't even left the building yet. I was more peeking my head out the door.
Okay. You peek your head out the door, and for our video viewers, I am rolling dice now for something in the beyond.
So I think I figured out part of like these characters a little bit.
I'm interested to see how it pans out. So
Well, like I think I figured out like what you're trying to spin exactly.
Interesting.
What do you think? What do you think it is, Swifty?
Do you want to wait until the after part and see if
I
you're right,
don't-
or
I
do you
don't
want to
wanna-
make a
yeah.
prediction? Actually, we can make a prediction.
I do want to make a
Yeah, I
prediction.
want him to make a prediction.
All right, we're at an hour 30. Let's make a prediction.
Okay, so you had Jack Frost as the son of the thing.
Okay.
I noticed you technically just described a corrupted reindeer
Interesting.
for the creatures that are hunting this area.
Okay.
I get the feeling that Santa's gotten corrupted somehow, and he's not so jolly right now. I'm gonna take that as I probably.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting ideas. Very interesting. Well, let's see how they
My
unfold.
prediction-
Oh,
My prediction is it's a nil.
ooh, okay, yeah. Maybe maybe there's a throwback
Shadowfell.
here. Yeah, a little bit of a throwback over to Sans' backstory as being a nil. All right. Well, you heard it here first, audience. These are the predictions, and let's see how they pan out.
Evil Kris Kringle.
Is it Krampus, or is it a nil, or is it something else?
Krampus is a completely different being from Santa.
Santa, Krampus, they're like brothers. Family.
I mean,
Al dente.
technically, yes.
We're all family at Olive Garden. Please don't sue me.
Krampus was the one that was to punish the bad kids.
Oh, yes. Yes.
originally. Of course, when
Um,
the Christians took over, they couldn't be having Krampus anymore.
so let's get back on track here so that way we can get to a decent stopping point. As you peek your head out, past the fiery lit torches and into the oval perimeter, past the far wall, there's two things you notice. The way that this building is facing, the opposite perimeter is not the way that you came back, but the opposite perimeter towards the mountains. And you see that there's two things. The first thing that you kind of set your eyes on along the doorway that kind of leads out into the forest and to that mountainscape, you see that there seems to be a statue that is kind of covered in snow and what looks to be some sort of frost. It's holding what looks to be a big claymore that has been stabbed into the ground. But other than that, it's completely covered in snow. Past that, of course, is the forest and the mountain range. And as your eyes kind of focus on this, past that fiery light of those torches that are lighting this area so bright, and past that statue, and into the forest, it's, for a brief second, just a millisecond, almost to the point where you feel like your eyes are playing tricks on you. Are they? Are they not? Is there just a bit of a fire, like a little bit of fire ember in your eye? You're not sure. But for the briefest of smallest moments, you are quite sure that you see a white skull in the forest staring back at you with these dark, cherry red eyes. And then it's gone. And now you're just looking at the forest. What was that? Not sure. And I think with that, I think that is where we are going to go ahead and end our session.
So what was the point of the entire prediction?
That's fair. Give me. I'm joking. I'm joking. Well, maybe am I not? Well, here's the thing. Mike has lost phone call again, and at this point, I'm kind of low key giving up on this ridiculousness.
I just did the prediction that you're just like, do you want to wait until after? I'm like, I don't know how long that'll be.
Okay, fine. Yeah,
Yep.
It's just that
Can I
Mike
put this
keeps
in that?
losing the phone call, and I feel like it's best to end it before this gets any more crazy, because this marks like 5 times in a recording. And Mike, you got to get a new phone, man, or this is I don't know, man.
I think it happens when I'm quiet too long. I don't know. But
Tell you
I'm
what.
just gonna ask.
Tell you what.
Let me
Hold,
see all
can you hold on for 5.8 seconds? Thank you. Editor, go ahead and edit out that last bit about me ending the recording there. We're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna keep it pushing for a little bit longer. That was a good stopping point, but we'll keep it going.
Well,
all right.
I figured once we get out of once we've gotten everyone from the village in one place.
That's fair. That's honestly where I would like to end things. So yeah, okay. So what are you doing?
From here, I'm gonna head towards, obviously, the opposite side.
Okay.
I assume there's no more buildings on this side, are there?
That's correct. Yeah, you've got the one statue over there on the far perimeter of the wall, and then that's all that's over there. But then, yeah, you would have to go across the courtyard to the other two areas you haven't explored yet. Sorry, really quickly, Mike, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, was I there? And then I was gonna say something.
No, because he was just peeking out. No.
Yeah.
Well, actually, are you peeking out too?
I would imagine I am.
Okay, well, let me roll for you then, because I had asked you earlier, but you probably got cut off somewhere in there.
I did.
Okay, you got a 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so here's the thing. I will say, just for the sake of the recording, you see the very similar thing to what Cacta has seen. Some sort of skull thing in the woods, but only for a millisecond before it's gone. But you also do notice this sentient kind of statue with this big claymore stabbed into the ground on the far side of the perimeter.
Wait, the
I
statue
scratch my
is
head and
sentient?
I say, I don't remember there being a statue there. Not that I remember much of anything, but I think things are starting to come back to me, and I'm pretty sure I don't remember there being a statue there.
Wait, wait, the statue sentient.
No, there's no sentient statue. That was a misspeaking of my words. So, anyways, what are you doing?
I said I don't remember there being a statue there.
Yeah, I know, but I'm asking Cacta. Cacta, what are you doing?
Um, does it look like the statue is anywhere I could put a torch?
I mean, there is torches along the far perimeter of the outer oval. Yes, that would kind of
I
light
mean,
the
like
outer.
on the actual statue.
No. Its hands are clasped around the big giant claymore that's been stabbed into the ground in front of it.
Well, how dare it be difficult?
Maybe if you remove the sword, you could put a torch in its place. If that's what you're thinking about there.
Thanks, voice in the back of my head. I mean, I guess I'll check out the statue.
Okay, so as a second thought, you decide to go ahead and check the statue.
Seeing as he did mention the statue is suspicious, he doesn't remember it being there before.
Okay. Yeah, you walk across the courtyard here, past the dugout where the bonfire would go, and go straight across to the other side of this oval perimeter. You approach this opening here where the it leads to past that leads to the forest and to the mountains, and you walk up to this statue. This statue stands a little bit taller than Raleigh. You would say if you were to kind of put it into height perspectives, it would go up to about your thigh, so probably about 4 foot, maybe possibly reaching about 4'3". Nothing too tall, but
How tall do you think I am?
well, I'm pretty sure we're like 5'9" or something, 5'6".
I am labeled as a small creature.
What is your height?
I'm not 100% sure, but I am most definitely labeled as small.
Okay. Well, if you are labeled as small, then let's just say.
I'm like,
Okay, so for
if you're
clarification,
considering 4 foot something to be up to my thigh.
yeah, well, if that's the case, then I would say, unlike with Raleigh the bear, who kind of again goes up to about knee high, about your knee, I'll say that for this situation, that this character actually does almost match your height up to about your chest. Just to kind of keep things a little bit more loose until we can iron down those height measurements. With that being said, they are holding this big sword in front of them, very stoic, and they are looking out towards the mountain ranges in a very stoic expression. You can tell that this it's hard to kind of tell with the amount of snow and frost that's on them, but you're quite sure due to their design that this is an owl. And their wings are kind of arched over this claymore.
I am going to real well like use my flamethrower to try to melt what I can.
Okay. As you light